there, welcome to Module 1, Lesson 7, Quadratic Inequalities. So since we have started solving quadratic inequalities already, you know the process of solving quadratic inequalities. So let's proceed with problems involving quadratic inequalities. You ready? Okay. Okay, so here's the problem that I'm going to discuss with you. Let's do it. This is entitled Let's Do Gardening. So use the situation below to answer the questions that follow. Okay, here's the situation. Mr. Bayani has a vacant lot in his backyard and he wants to make as many rectangular gardens as possible, such that the length of each garden is 2 meters longer than its width. He also wants the length of the garden with the smallest area to be 3 meters. How are we going to solve this? Okay, so let's follow the following steps. First is represent the length and the width of the garden. Of course, we need that. Now, it says here, let's look at our given. So, he wants to make as many possible gardens such that the length of each garden is 2 meters longer than its width. So it's very clear from here that the last being mentioned is the width. So you have to let x to be your width. Now if the width is longer, so that must be x plus, okay, longer than 2 meters, so that must be x plus 2, and that's gonna be your length. Alright, so you already have your length and the width, so you have your representation now. Next step is to answer this question: what general mathematical sentence would represent the areas of the gardens, or in other words, create your equation for you to solve this problem. So if the length and the width is given to be x and x plus 2, and area is length times width, then you just multiply this x and x plus 2. However, so you have x plus 2, the length, and the width. However, you cannot use equal sign here. Okay, so why? Because of this statement, with the smallest area. Okay, wait for a while. Okay, the statement the smallest means that the product of this length and width should be the greatest. So you should have greater than or equal to 3. So the smallest 3 is smaller than x and x plus 2. Okay, so multiplying the left side of the equation will give us x squared plus 2x. Okay, so we now have our general equation or mathematical sentence. All right, proceed with answering the problem. What are the possible dimensions of the gardens? Of course, you need to use your mathematical sentence earlier that you have created. So how do we solve quadratic inequalities? Of course, we will start with its critical values or its boundaries. So the boundaries, for solving the boundaries, you need to change the inequality symbol to equal symbol first. So this is now in standard form, and then proceed with the methods in solving quadratic equations like factoring, completing the square, quadratic formula. So here, I'm going to make use of factoring. So the factors are x plus 3 and x minus 1. Separating the factors into 2. So I will end up with x equals negative 3 and x equals 1 as my critical values. After having the critical values, of course, we can now plot these points in a number line. Of course, negative 3 is here, 1 is on the other side. Okay, so since there is an equal sign below, so we are going to use the solid circles. Alright, so let's write in our intervals. So of course you know how to write intervals, right? You just copy -3 and then less than or equal to symbol, and then x, and then another less than or equal to symbol, and then copy 1. Alright, so that's 1. Then on the other side, here on the side of -3, here on this part, so what you're going to do is just to use like this one, the symbol. So you are going to have x is less than or equal to -3, and then of course in this part here, for this part you use greater than symbol, so greater than or equal to 1. Okay, since you now have your intervals, you may now proceed with the true or false. Okay, so for the intervals of x less than or equal to -3, next to -3 is -4. So use that value and then substitute it here. So let me check. Let me change. Okay, so change my color. So here, substitute x with -4. So that must be negative, wait, -4. I'm sorry about this. Okay, squared. It looks like 42 now. Alright, so let me erase it. Okay, so here. You can do it but on your own. However, it's not here in my slides. So let me just, okay, so that's 4 squared. Just take note that it's 4 squared. 2 times -4. I'm sorry about this. Okay, and then you have greater than or equal to 3. Let's check on this first. So -4 squared is 16, and then 2 times -4 is -8. So that must be 16 minus 8 is 8. Alright, so 8 is the answer for this. So we're going to have 8. Okay, and then the symbol, this symbol. Okay, so from there, is it true or false? Yes, it's true. Okay, so true for that case. Now let's proceed with do the same thing for how do you call this, for this part here. Okay, here we can use between -3 and 1 there is 0 present. So we can let x equal to 0. So if it's 0, then on the other side will be 0. 0 na lahat kasi wala namang number na natira. So 0 is greater than 3. Is it true or false? 0 is greater than or equal to 3? Of course, it's false. Okay? Now on the last one, greater than 1 here. For this one, of course, we can use 2. Alright? So if x is equal to 2, just substitute. Then 2 squared must be 4. I'm sorry. And then 2 times 2 is 4 again. Okay. Okay, so 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is greater than or equal to 3. True or false? Okay, 8 is greater than or equal to 3 is true. Alright, so since it's true, we now have our answers here. So we have 2 true values. Let's erase muna our false. Okay, so tanggalin muna natin yung false. Yung sagot natin shall be coming from these intervals here. However, because this is real life problem, this is problem about dimensions na garden. Dimensions ng garden. So, of course, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung mga nandito. nandito sa values na to. Kahit siya, true siya, yes. Pwede siyang maging sagot dun sa problem natin. Kaso, kung problem natin is given as an equation lang alone, kaso nga, given siya as real life problem and dimension siya, so walang negative na dimension. So in other words, tanggalin din natin yan. Hindi rin siya kasali. So in other words, yung sagot lang natin is only the interval x is greater than or equal to 1. Ito lang yung magiging sagot natin. So, yung final answer natin shall be x such that x is greater than or equal to 1. Hindi natin pwedeng isali si x is less than or equal to negative 3 kasi nga kahit pa siya true sa true or false natin, hindi naman pwede yung negative as a value of length and width. So, meron na tayong sagot. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga possible dimensions? So, greater than 1. 1 plus 2. So, that's 3. Right? Or 1 times 2. 1 and 2. Okay? So, basta hindi siya dapat or 1 and 2 is wrong. Actually, kasi dapat greater than 3 siya. Okay? The smallest is 3. So, yun yung graph natin. Alright? So, yan lang. Tapos, ito naman yung para sa'yo. Okay? Ganun din yung gagawin. Just follow what I did and solve this problem. The floor of a conference hall can be covered completely with tiles. Its length is 360 feet longer than its width. The area of the floor is less than 57,600 square feet. What are the possible dimensions of the floor? So, here are what you're going to do. First is to represent the length and width, just like what we did earlier, and then create a mathematical sentence or an inequality, and then get the possible dimensions of the floor. Okay, that will be all. Bye bye.